Welcome to the Ministry of Tourism stand, which is located at stand F23, right opposite Zambia Railways. We are here exhibiting at the 97th Agriculture and Commercial Show here in Lusaka. Some of the services that we're offering this year include acquiring of tourism license, grading license, casino license, and also we are able to offer or to run you through how you could apply for any other license or get more information on how you could have access to that service via the government service bus. We're encouraging everybody to visit our stand, which is F23 here in the showgrounds, and learn more about the Ministry of Tourism and how we're responding to recent trends in the tourism sector. From me is Madam Amanda Mwendawele Chipungo, who will give you an insight and also make you understand how the ministry is responding to this year's theme, which is adapting to the climate change.
My name is Amanda Mwendawele Chipungo. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at the Zambia Tourism Agency, which is an agency under the Ministry of Tourism, in charge of marketing and regulating the industry. This year, the theme for the show is adapting to climate change, and we're here to exhibit as a ministry to just show how we're delivering on that theme. Our core mandate is to market Zambia as a destination of choice. And in doing that, once we attract the tourists to the country, we are here to tell the story of how we're doing that, cognizant of the fact that we have climate change and how we are rising above the impact of climate change to still ensure that the tourism industry is still sustained and that tourism continues to be a great contributor to GDP. So when you look at tourism, we have important stakeholders who are the private sector, the hotels, all other tourist operators in industry, offering transport, restaurant, entertainment, and all that. So how do we as a ministry ensure that our stakeholders are actually also delivering on our core mandate and are also adapting to climate change? So when we look at the inspections we do for grading, we have a grading system that ensures that standards in hotels, for example, up to par. When we grade and award them with stars of 1 to 5 star, that is just to ensure that within the actual standards or qualities that are stipulated in the law, that they're actually meeting that to ensure that the standards are befitting what is expected world over for each of those asterisks as per the law. Moving from there, we're looking at, for example, culture, which is an important tourism product. What are we doing as a ministry to ensure that our cultural practices actually ensuring that we maintain the ecosystem? We're providing the education to communities to ensure that the cultural practices are those that do not deplete our nature being our core product as a ministry in terms of tourism. So we're actually educating communities to ensure that, for example, they are farming the ways of farming, they're not, cutting down trees and all other cultural practices, pollution of the rivers and all that are things that they avoid, and that they actually just concentrate on practices that ensure that nature is preserved. We look at wildlife. In there, you will note that when there's drought, for example, certain nature-based products might be affected. I'll give an example. We, for example, market the wildebeest migration that happens around November to December. So this is the wildebeest migrating when it starts to get wet. And in 2023, for example, when we had the drought, this was delayed. You'll find that we'll be marketing to say that it's happening around November, but because of the drought, it was delayed slightly. So we have practices or projects that we have spearheaded as a government ministry and in partnership with the private sector, like African Parks. For example, I will say one of the projects that has been spearheaded in the Bangweulu, for example, and Lokanga swamps is the restoration of the wetlands. So that is just an example of one project that is happening in that area to be able to improve nature's performance or restore wetlands to help the wildlife. Over and above that, we have heritage sites, like the Victoria Falls, that are affected, looking at climate change. Of course, last year we had very good rains. It was very full. Victoria Falls it's still got some good water now, and it's, it being, one of the major natural wonders of the world in drier periods, like 2023, the drought that was experienced. As a ministry, we had to rise above that and see how it is that we rise above that and ensure that it still delivers on tourism, still delivers on fitting into GDP. So we were able to be creative around that and just market activity that you could still do around the Victoria Falls, even without water. So you will see that the Devil's Pool in dry seasons has less water, but there's a bit of water there for adrenaline lovers to still get into that pool and take their pictures and have an experience. We also had activities around bungee jumping and all that. So in periods where, like last year, we had a lot more water, we could not go to the Devil's Pool, but we have what we call the Angel's Pool and still conduct the same activity. When you look at also visits to our game parks, you will find that we have another tourism product, like the walking safari. Zambia, I think is actually prides itself in having come up with this innovation. It's known for the walking safari. So these are some of the things that we're doing, for example, to reduce on fumes from motor vehicles, for example, in the game parks. So you enjoy interacting with nature on a walking safari in our game parks, and that activity still does feed into GDP. When the tourist comes here, whether with drought or without drought, the tourism industry continues spinning the wheel and continues to contribute significantly through employment creation, through taxes paid, through the hotels and lodges and restaurants and even the nightlife. So there's a lot to do in tourism, and for us, climate change has not reduce the activity or reduce the contribution to GDP. So for us at Ministry of Tourism, we are inviting you to our stand to come and get, to understand and to speak to us and know about what is out there. We would like for all Zambians to take their holidays, visit all these destinations, know about the tourism products, not just the Victoria Falls. There's the hot springs, the caves in the northern province. There's so much more. Learn about our culture, all these cultural cultural ceremonies. We're here exhibiting also. You'll be able to learn about all that. Get to find out what packages are existing with our partners. We have some of our partners exhibiting with us right under the Ministry of Tourism stand. So you'll be able to speak to some of the private sector. The hotels are here. They'll be able to offer you packages, and you will get to know, contrary to the perception that it is expensive to take holidays, you will find that our partners will actually give you packages that are actually, befitting your pocket. So please make time, come to our stand, come and interact with us, and get to know about Zambia. Zambia is beautiful.